All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Friday night. Me and Mike are back, and
Woohoo!
George is
Yeah,
George
baby,
is
bring
the
it, bring it.
Mike's a little wired today with his
Yeah,
Cybertruck. His
I already.
Cybertruck order went through,
There you go. There you go.
It only took $100. You know what
and
I mean?
like
That's
Six said,
true. That's true.
note 10 for the wife and Cybertruck for Mike. We see
That's
how he
right.
does it.
That's right.
George
That's,
has been here every week.
Yeah, George
oh,
held down the fort.
Yeah.
I'm looking at myself on camera, and I'm like, you can tell winter's coming because I look as white as white cat. Happens
you
to
look,
me every winter.
you look whiter than Mike. Oh man.
But I said in the comments, I said, I think Mike's going to be the star of the show tonight because
Mike is wired.
look at him. He looks good and everything.
I am chilled. Let me tell you, I'm still in North Carolina right now. That's all I
Yeah,
got.
that vacation did Mike good. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's great.
Yeah, so it was good holiday, good times with the family and friends. It was just good. It was just really a good trip all the way around.
You
So
were down there saying, good times.
yeah.
Mike was chilling. Mike
So
was down there feeding horses.
Yeah, I know. I was taking pictures. The wife was feeding horses. She was in her glory.
You guys were just horsing around. I got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but George, thank you for holding down the fort. The place still looks great. You didn't destroy anything.
Hey, at least I didn't wreck the house, right?
Yeah, you wrecked the house. The seats are there. The number one seat still was available for who was it? 6? Who was it tonight?
6.
Yeah.
Six
So
Nigel,
okay.
Right.
Right. So that's good. Thanks, George. I know Will, man. He was just out of it. I want to wait. Let me hold on. I want to announce everything first off. Will is the man. He fulfilled his obligation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell him
All right.
I'm a man of my word, right?
He is a man of his word. I never doubt it. First off,
tell him what the application was. Everybody may not know.
Okay. I bet Will that he would eventually go back to an Android device.
Right. And this was back in.
You bet I wouldn't get the Pixel before Christmas.
Was it a Pixel or the Android device? Because
you said I wouldn't get the Pixel before Christmas.
Wait, I got proof here. Look, folks, this is what he was drinking. He was drinking bottles of apple juice, and it clouded his memory.
That's what it was, Mike. You said I told you I wouldn't get the Pixel before Christmas,
and you would.
I said you would. And wait a minute, make matters even more, the better was there at the restaurant. He whips out a Note 10 Plus at the same time.
There you go.
And you could just see his eyes were like, because I can't handle 2 phones, Mister. I can't handle 2 phones. What am I going to do? I want this, and this will work on this. I'm like, Will, try it. I tried. I tried so hard.
Mike, what did I do in the end?
George, it was something to see. The eyes were like rolling back and forth. You could not compute how to work 2 phones. How to work 2 phones at once. I told him, George. I told him simple. Give out the number to your friends and family. Say I'm doing a little experiment. I'm into phone tech. Call me on this number. Message me. No, it wasn't happening.
It was not happening, right?
Now don't ask him what ecosystem he's in phone wise right now.
Well, that's what the little Apple is right there.
But
right. I'll swear to you, George, I'm telling you, I'm ready to give him another bet. I was already getting locked and loaded in another bet. I want to say maybe when the S11 comes out. What do you think, George?
I think that's probably a pretty good bet.
5,000. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm all right. We can take that one, Mike. We could take that one. So what is your bet? You think that I'm gonna do what?
Another Red Robin bet. Okay.
No. You think I'm gonna get the S11?
Yeah.
I would join him on that.
Okay. Okay. I'll take that one, Mike.
S11.
All right, now let me give a nod to people who were in here. The first one in was 6. 6 was the man tonight. Nigel was right behind him. And then Eleanor came in, and then who else came in? Oh, Gadget Goddess, thank you for being here. And Munchie is in here. The professor
Yeah, Professor. Yes, I did see. Yes, yes.
And Gary Brown is in here, so you know we're going to have trouble.
hmm
And I think that's all.
So far, yeah.
But thanks for joining us, everybody.
The night is young,
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
so
yes, it is.
So Will's running the show tonight, even
Yeah.
though he's using his iPhone. You know.
Oh, Mike, we got some good stories. This first one was just for you. I picked
Oh,
this
what, the
one
Motorola?
just for you, Mike.
yeah, I saw that. I'm not holding my breath.
Well,
I'm not holding my breath at all.
I totally think it's truth. All right,
Yeah,
so
they are. They're gonna come. Look, well, they're already coming with the what's that thing called?
with the
Like
Razr,
Yeah, the
the Razr.
Razor. Yeah.
Oh, the Razr, but
But what they're
no.
charging for that's a flagship price anyway.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, definitely is a flagship price.
Bunchy right here.
Oh,
There
and
you
if I had to bet what I might cave in on sometime early next year, I probably wouldn't bet against the Razr.
go. Really?
I find it as fascinating as a lot of the
Wait a
guys.
minute, how are you going to
George,
get
it's
that?
only on Verizon.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Because
have,
you know, the one thing I will not do is leave T-Mobile,
no.
Not
which
yet.
I guess means sometime in the spring I'll end up with a 5G phone.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
I got this one, Mike. I'll take it when y'all.
Okay.
All right, I have the screen shared if you want to let it
I
go
did
out.
already. I shared it.
All right, you're way ahead of me. All right.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Oh,
All
don't
right.
worry, George. He's ready too tonight. He's ready.
Okay.
I know. I know.
All right. This one's from Android Police. Motorola will start making flagship phones again in 2020.
Sorry.
And Mike laughs because Mike will be the one online.
I
I'll take that bet too in 2020, Mike.
Okay. All right.
Motorola has struggled to find its footing in the smartphone era. After early successes like the Droid, it increasingly fell behind the likes of Samsung and OnePlus. After focusing on cheaper phones over the last few years, Motorola says it's coming back to the flagship space in 2020. Under Lenovo, Motorola backed away from high-end phones. It hasn't even launched a competitive flagship device in the last 2 years. In 2018, it released the Moto Z3 on Verizon with a year-old Snapdragon 835. This year, the Verizon Moto Z4 stepped down to the Snapdragon 675. The new Moto Razr is apparently a sign that Motorola is changing course. Moto expects to launch a premium smartphone in early 2020 running the Snapdragon 865 platform, meaning it will support some flavor of 5G. And it looks like they had looks like a keynote or something.
Yep.
From the 3rd, and they were talking about their plans. Very key partner of Qualcomm. Motorola says there is. We don't know if this upcoming phone will be another entry in the Z series or if the company will finally drop that gimmick. Regardless, it's good to have confirmation that Motorola is coming back to the high-end phone market. It was starting to look like it would stick with mid-range devices indefinitely.
Okay.
Well, the mid-range devices is their bread and butter.
And you can't, for my money, you can't beat their mid-range phones.
No.
I
Yeah,
have my Moto G6 Plus sitting right here.
Now, pause that thought for 1 second. I've been waiting to ask you this, George.
Go ahead.
Funny you happen to say that. Now, you got the ZTE Blade 10, right?
You're right here.
Okay.
All right.
And outside now, they're not talking about the camera stuff, but performance on that phone.
Mm-hmm.
Does it go again? Can it go toe to toe on a Moto phone?
I believe it can. Now, against the Moto G6 Plus, I'd say you're going to have the slightest bit of stuttering on the Blade 10. Now, keep in mind, it's maybe around $100 less than the Moto.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, for a $179 phone, and while they were having their sale, it was $129. You can't beat this phone. But there is no stabilization on this phone or the ZTE Axon 10 Pro. But of course, since Google Photos has the stabilize button, I just stabilize every video that way.
Right.
So generally, I'd say it's a terrific phone for $179.
So that's what I was thinking about the Moto phone, the Moto G line.
Yeah.
is going toe to toe against that phone.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is I've heard so many other reviewers complain about no NFC, no NFC in the G line, but that phone has NFC, you know.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
So you could use Google Pay on that. So
Yeah.
that, I mean, that right there is a
It's a big step forward.
is
Yeah,
a big step forward. So
I agree 100%.
so Moto needs to step up their game on the G line. Basically, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they've been very successful with the G line, but I agree with you. I think the fact that the Razor is, really premium despite that processor, I think they're going to step it up. I really do. So, Will, you're the one who doesn't believe that, right?
Nah, I think they are. Mike doesn't think they're.
Now
gonna-
I'm skeptical about, again, you're going to spend a lot of money on a phone, or how much support is that phone going to garner?
And that's what we always worried about.
And they've done it before. They said we're going to give you 2-year support, and all of a sudden, halfway through the first year, they back around.
That's
but
true.
wait, you can't really. I don't know. You can fault them, but you kind of can't, because flagship phones, besides a Pixel or OnePlus, what phones really get support?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, no, they're right.
And,
Two-year OS updates.
and I
Yeah,
have, and I have to say, with my Moto G6 Plus, now that's what is it, 10 months old now or 9 months old? They're keeping up with the security updates, but I don't know about the going to Android 10.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see what happens.
They
Yeah.
got to step it up with their camera to.
I think their cameras are good.
Their software was
I-
never the problem. Their
Fine.
camera is.
What you're,
I thought the cameras are good.
but keep in mind, you're talking to.
Not for a
I only
flagship,
buy
for a
Pixel
flagship
phone.
price. It's not.
Oh no,
yeah.
no, I'm talking about the G line. The G line took really nice pictures.
I agree.
So
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, even the Moto X back in the day, their camera was never.
no, but they've come a long way I feel in the cameras.
Yeah.
I had that Moto X4, and it took really some great shots.
Okay.
So what's the let's see, what's that other story?
What the Google Advanced
Okay, yeah,
Protection?
no, I'm trying to use my OnePlus today for this stream to read
Okay.
the stuff,
Mhm.
and I got some windows still open from last night reading some of these articles. I just saw the thing about the iPhone 11, but that's later on.
Okay. All right. So we're going on to Google.
George is on it. Well, you see that?
I'm trying. Yeah.
I'm looking. I'm like, hold up, George, put it up there already.
All right. So am I reading this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. This one is on 9 to 5 Google. And Google's Advanced Protection Program may soon block side-loaded apps. Now, keep in mind, side loading is one of the big things that people like about Android as opposed to iOS. So they put a video in here, but we're not going to show that. But Google's Advanced Protection Program, an initiative to help protect the Google accounts of those who are most at risk, may be getting a new protection feature on Android devices to block sideloading, according to the latest Play Store update. About APK Insight. In this APK Insight post, talking to me. That was my Google talking to me for some reason. In this APK Insight post, we've decompiled the latest version of an application that Google uploaded to the Play Store. When we decompile these files, called APKs in the case of Android apps, we're able to see various lines of code that hint at a possible future feature. Keep in mind that Google may or may not ever ship these features, and our interpretation of what they are may be imperfect. We'll try to enable those that are closer to being finished. However, to show you how they look in case they do ship, with that in mind, read on. Those who have signed up their Google account for the Advanced Protection Program are given an even higher level of security for their account and devices. Typical security is involved by using a Titan security key, while digital security is the main priority. For example, on Google Chrome, advanced protection members are prevented from or strongly warned against downloading risky files. The Google Play Store received an update this week to version 17.8.14, and with it, we found a strong indication of the next big safety feature for advanced protection, app blocking. Now, this stuff is right out of the code. So you can see it's advanced protection dialog, app block by advanced protection. Google keeps talking to me. I don't know why.
It's trying to tell you something.
I guess. Pretty clearly, this sounds like the Google Play Store will be able to prevent advanced protection users from sideloading apps. Digging into the code, it appears that this sideloading protection can be enforced on devices that have even one advanced protection account signed in. More code, blocking no install from unknown source for advanced protection user, allowing install because there are no advanced protection users. So I guess if you're not signed up to that, you can sideload what you want still. Preventing advanced protection accounts from sideloading apps altogether seems a bit heavy-handed, I agree. And it looks like Google may also offer an alternative choice for those who need Android apps that are not on the Play Store. Instead of simply blocking the sideloaded apps, the Play Store can be required to scan them with Play Protect before allowing the install. To me, that makes much more sense.
Yeah, that's what it should do.
Yeah. So with Play Protect enabled for advanced protection users, advanced protection requires scans for any apps that come from outside the Play Store. You'll get a notification if there's a potential security threat. I think that's the way to go. We're not sure when these side-loaded blocking features are intended to go live, but our Dylan Roussel was able to enable some of the UI now, including the new message on the Play Protect page. I guess this is where he got the message on his phone.
Apparently, there was an update to this article that just happened today, too.
Yeah, so update 12.6, yeah. With a bit more effort, Dylan was able to fully enable the new advanced protection program features of the Google Play Store and captured them on video. In the first demo, when attempting to sideload an update to files by Google, Play Protect first scans the APK file before allowing the installation. I'm not going to play that, but I think that's a good move. In the second, Play Protect altogether prevents the installation of an app that is not found in the Google Play Store. We didn't change any other settings to trigger this behavior, which indicates that those in the Advanced Protection Program could potentially be limited to apps that can be found in the Play Store when sideloaded. Given that these features are already functional once enabled, it may not be long before the side-loaded protections arrive for those who enroll in the Advanced Protection Program. Hopefully, these side-loaded safety features will not be forced upon all Advanced Protection members, as there are surely many who rely on non-Play Store apps who also need the kind of safety that the Advanced Protection Program offers. And I agree. I think forcing it on people completely is not a good idea. But I agree with you, Will. If they allow you to scan the app before you sideload it, then I think it's a very good idea.
That makes more sense than not letting you put it at all. That's kind
exactly, because then they turn into Apple.
Well, but
they don't want to become the company who sells phones now, do they?
Yeah.
There we go.
What I thought the whole point of sideloading is get apps that are not part of the Play Store. That's how people. That's one of the things about
one of the things that attract people to Android. I agree 100%.
Sideload, you can get stuff that's not in the Play Store. You can get apps that the Play Store says aren't compatible with your device.
Yep.
Right.
Sometimes you'll get like older. You can get like an older version of the app that might not work. You know what I mean?
That's Will's new doorbell.
Yeah, my kids keep ringing the bell now. But yeah.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, kids keep ringing the bell. My phone will be dead in an hour. My phone will be dead in an hour. It keeps popping up.
Will, on that, show everybody what that doorbell. Do you have the box still?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that's got a camera in it, right?
Yeah.
The Nest Hello. Well, yeah. So there's the Ring video doorbell.
Yeah, they are now, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$8. I couldn't beat it.
Was it really easy to put in other than that transformer thing?
Even it's just a screwdriver.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't know.
You just unscrew the wire.
Before I got the Ring doorbell 2, because I had the one, I tried to Google the Nest, and since it didn't work with my transformer, I just took it back and got the Ring video doorbell.
What happens if you don't have a transformer?
Well, what happens?
He had to go buy one, right?
Yeah, I ordered mine from Amazon. It'll be here tomorrow. But what happened was, right now it works, right? If you have Google Home, if you have Google Homes throughout your house, you'll be fine. You wouldn't need to switch it. The only reason I'm doing it is because my actual doorbell chime won't chime loud because the power is going to operate the doorbell outside to keep it running.
Well, what do you mean you'll be fine if you have Google Homes around there?
If you have Google Homes, because you see how the Google Home tells you somebody's at the door. So if you have a Google Home throughout your house, it's going to announce it anyway.
Yeah,
which you really wouldn't need the chime, but
okay.
I still want the actual doorbell to work.
Yeah, me too.
I just saw bad news. Gary Brown saying you can
Sideload
sideload Google Plus.
What? No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's not in the Play Store anymore.
Will, you should be highlighting some of these comments.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that, George. I've been off too long.
Okay. I'm supposed to be
I forgot about that. But yeah, Mike, it's easy, man. If you got a doorbell, you don't even need to have a doorbell because they have a you can just get they got like a wireless some kind of thing that you buy and you plug it outside or something and it can connect to, I think.
Well, that's good. If a wireless some kind of thing, tell us about.
You can power the doorbell.
That's technical jargon.
Without wiring it to your house. You just put the plug. You plug it inside, and
I didn't know nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go in a different tangent. I just heard that chime. Like, what the heck is that? I thought the kids were playing Christmas music or something.
It's driving me crazy with the door.
Will in the spirit. All right, so at least we know Will's not Scrooge.
A little. That's about as much in the spirit as I get. Yeah. But yeah, Mike, what do you think? You don't like this advanced protection?
I'm like.
Where do you even go to enroll in it? I don't even think I've ever even seen it.
I never knew anything about it until this story.
I think it's in the Play Store.
Google is strange doing this type of stuff though, because even with the Pixel 4, if you have they call them a G Suite account, you've seen it, right, Mike? You won't get the new assistant on your phone.
Yeah, I saw that. I know.
That doesn't even make sense. It blocks the new assistant completely from your and Google knows about it because I think there was an article a while ago that said they had Google was basically has parts on their website that tells you if you have a G Suite account, you can't get the new assistant. Why?
That's weird.
Doesn't make sense.
It's really weird how they do that.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to really wonder about who's making these decisions.
Oh yeah, wait till we get to the other article.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
the next one.
Hey, if you go to the Play Store and if you go into the list of
the settings,
there is something in here. I've got to do this. It says Play Protect. I don't know if that's coming in.
Yeah, I think that's just a scanning thing, though. That's not this thing. That advanced protection.
Unless it's baked into.
Yeah, but it said in the article,
it
said something about signing up for it.
Okay, that's right.
So you must have to sign up your account for it.
So it's probably somewhere in your Gmail account, is my guess. Somewhere tied to your Gmail account.
Yeah, I saw that.
This was the first that I had ever heard of it. So,
but I thought I saw something come through saying, "Oh, you're going to get this feature."
I know I wouldn't.
To
Well, don't accept it, Michael. You won't be sideloaded.
I don't sideload stuff very often, but I want to be able to when I want to.
But is it by account? I wonder if then you have to go out and make a fictitious account. You know what I mean?
For what?
Well, to avoid this.
Oh, well, yeah. So you're saying having 2 different Gmail accounts.
Right. Just open up another Gmail account so
And
you
then-
can sideload it to your phone just to see. You know what I mean?
All you're showing, Mike, is you think much more deviously than Will and I. You know.
You got to think on your toes, you know?
Okay.
I don't know. I'd be pretty aggravated though if
Me
you
too.
think it's supposed to be helping you. And like you said, I don't side load that often, but there's some apps like
I
Mike, that app that the one that I told you that you'll never get to get all the channels on the TV.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Pat would love it for $25 a month. You have all the channels. The one you never get.
Well, you got to come here and show me. I'm telling you to come over because I can't figure that out.
That one you can side load that on your Android.
All right, Will, you have no excuse. You only live 20 minutes away from it now. Come on now.
Exactly.
Do you have
Thank
what's it called? Fire Stick?
Oh, I
You
can
gotta
get
get
one.
a Fire Stick. Yeah.
I have one if you want to drive down to Tennessee.
when you get a Fire Stick, Mike, let me know. It's so easy. $25.
I almost picked one up during the Black Friday sales.
Oh, yeah.
Mike,
There'll be other ones.
Yep.
All the channels, Mike, all of them.
All right.
Your wife will have so many Hallmarks and what'd you say she watches? Hallmark.
And I guess Lifetime right now. Lifetime's coming up. Lifetime's
Oxygen. She'd have like 4 Lifetime channels on there.
Lifetime and Oxygen, yeah.
A whole bunch of Oxygen channels, ID, all of them, everything.
And what's Oprah's channel? OW.
Oprah's channels on there. You get all of them, every channel, Mike. Any channel you can think of on TV is on there. You get ESPN Plus. You get
Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
They have them races on all the time, George. They have all different kinds of races on. On Saturday nights, they be having the races in the dirt, the races in the thing, all of us.
I love them racing. Hey Don, what's up?
I love it, George, because I get the fights for cheap. Like the fights are like $80 a fight.
You see Don's comment.
Yeah, I like that. I almost bought a Fire Stick today. Then I saw my next month's bill.
Yeah, you can highlight that, Will.
Yeah. See, I got it, George.
Smart man, Don. Smart man.
Mm.
All right. Whenever you guys are ready, I have the next.
All right. I'll get this one. I'll get this one.
All right. Not to have Google again.
Try and move it over here. Here we go. Okay. Google Photos rolling out built-in chat messaging for Android, iOS, and web. Back in September, Google introduced a slate of new photo features, including story-like memories and more print options. Google Photos today is rolling out a built-in chat service for mobile and desktop. This messaging solution lets you have ongoing private conversations in the app. Excuse me. When you share one-off photos and videos. Now, I got to pause for a second.
Okay.
Already?
But, wait a minute. I share photos in the family. Okay. And there is a spot when you can leave a comment. And then they reply going like Pat's, I'm just saying, she'll say, oh, ain't that nice? Ain't that cute? What did it? And I can respond. It's been there for a long time. I don't know what the big deal is.
No, listen, this is different, Mike, because look at the interface of it. This is like,
I see that.
This is like text messaging because Google does messaging so well that they have to put it somewhere else. You can already message in YouTube. Now you can message on messages.
No, you can't message anymore in YouTube.
You can still. Well, you can't. They took it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I guess they took it away to put it here. I don't know. Google, there's too many people. Google has too many people.
Now we're back to who's making the decisions.
Too many people, George, working on one thing.
Yeah.
They cannot even get messaging right on their app.
And that's why I think this whole thing is a mistake right here.
Right.
What are they doing?
So anyway,
trying to break up happy homes.
It appears alongside existing apps, sharing options as a new send in Google Photos carousel and more efficient than a link sharing.
Okay.
You'll always have been able to share individual photos through the app by creating an album for a single photo or sharing the link. But we've heard from some of you that this could be a simpler experience.
I agree with them there because I've always hated the fact that you have to create an album to
Mhm.
share a single photo, and I think this, in that regard, this is better. I think.
Yeah, but wait. What do you mean you got to create an album to share a single photo? You just send them the photo.
No,
If
no,
they
I can
have
just-
the Google
I can just
Photo
text
app,
you the photo.
if they have the Google Photo app, it seamlessly works. But presently, if they don't have the app, it doesn't. It sometimes it sends it as an email or
Yeah,
a link.
you have
A
to share
link.
the link. Exactly. And this way you don't have to do that anymore. So I think that's better, but I still think, okay, you guys got too many messaging apps already, you know. But,
Listen,
okay.
if you scroll down to the comments, like the fourth person down says, "Is it that hard to send a text?" All you got to do is send them the picture.
Well,
Like Google is wasting. This is like
Yeah,
a waste of
this-
resources.
Yeah, you know,
back
yeah.
to who's making these decisions, you know.
They're
Well,
like fixing a problem that doesn't exist. This was
I agree.
never a problem.
I agree. All right, go ahead.
It supports one-to-one conversations and creating groups. While you can search for Google Photos users, you know. After selecting a recipient,
Yeah.
you can say something with your image. While the thread also features.
Sorry. Please say something. And I just pictured somebody saying
Yeah.
something with a finger.
Yeah,
So-
just to say something. Yeah, I know.
Go ahead.
With your image, while the thread also features read receipts. What?
Yeah,
Read receipts?
like a messaging app.
When,
Yeah, this is Google Messages all over again.
Thank you very much.
when others send a image, you can quickly save to library comment. You can quickly save to library comment and like with hearts. Oh my God.
It's Google Messages, Facebook, everything,
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
all in
Instagram.
one,
I'm just gonna. You beat me to the punch.
all
Instagram.
in one.
We gotta work on Snapchat. We're gonna be hitting up on Snapchat real
It's coming.
soon.
Don't worry. Google's gonna add
Yeah.
faces and
But if they're gonna
Bitmoji.
have those, quick, those photos that stick around like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Stories like Facebook has. It's coming.
Did you see what Gary typed in? Go ahead, you can put that comment up. I don't mind.
I got it.
But
Oh,
Gary, don't you know that I've been past that years ago? Come on now.
Trying to get my nudes.
oh, God.
Let me
Go ahead.
according to Google, this feature isn't designed to replace chat apps you already use. It joins an existing first-party social feature that like live albums and shared libraries and albums. While there's an inherent cynicism in Google's releasing another app-specific communication features, rest in peace, YouTube Messages.
Thank you.
Photos has a good track record of releasing useful, functional, and beloved, and is beloved by many.
My answer to that would be until now.
Yeah, right. Okay. That said, it's questionable whether people will use a built-in feature rather than just sticking to whether there's an existing conversations are
To where there
are now.
Yeah.
Photo chat messaging is rolling out gradually over the next week and will be available on Android, iOS, and the web.
So I gather you guys agree with me. This just seems like a weird, kind of strange, even dumb idea.
I bet you this feature comes to iOS first.
Oh yeah.
Google's always backwards.
Hold on, let me go look. Go ahead. You go ahead. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Probably
It just
probably
seems
there.
so you're creating a whole messaging app inside Google Photos. when you already have Google? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's a weight, and that's the thing. You can't they can't even get
And
the
yeah,
regular.
Gary Brown is right with that comment.
They can't even get regular messaging right,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing this. Like, why can't they focus on one thing?
That's the thing. It seems like they can't focus. They have to be constantly diverged in their focus, so which means nothing gets done right.
It's like they're all in the same company, but everybody's in a different building, and they have no idea what the other person is doing there.
Throughout my corporate life, I've always said the biggest problem with big companies is departments do not communicate. Boy, Google is like the poster child for that.
Yeah.
This is like a waste, and then next year they'll be killing it anyway. They'll be removing the feature and putting messaging in the like Tyler said. You'll be able to message in Google Keep Notes. Like, you remember, that's another thing that don't make sense. All right, Google has Google Keep. You're supposed to be using the app, and I saw today, I think they released something where now Assistant is going to work with Keep to.
Yeah, I saw that today too. Yeah.
So let's say Mike or me or George, you're supposed to be able to make a list, right? With you and your wife, or make a note or whatever, or we can, like we do the show notes. Right. Now, when I edit the note, because we use it, when I edit the note, y'all don't get no notification telling you that I edited the note.
Yeah, I saw that you upgraded the list for tonight, but
but when you went into it, right?
Not until I got into it. Yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
I agree.
Yeah. So there's no notification like when I added stuff too last night.
Yeah, and we share this data between us, but we have no way of knowing when one of us changes something.
They don't give you no email, nothing. How can you get an app like that's? This is the point of the app. They let you put collaborators on the app, and they get it that wrong.
And it works very well, except let me know that he added something or deleted something,
And it doesn't, even on all of them, even if you do if you use the Documents app, and you can do the same thing, it doesn't notify you when the person goes in and changes it. So how are you supposed to use that for anything? You know what I mean?
You could never use that in a corporate.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't use it into something that's important. You can't.
Exactly.
But you can. But you can.
Absolutely right, Tyler. Bipolar. That's it, brother.
That you can send a message in photos. So that's what's important.
Yep.
That's there. Yeah, Google is a mess, man. Google
hey, Will.
Well, now that we'll get to that later. Never mind.
Hey, I just wanted to put the word out. Everybody who's in the room, in the chat room, go share the link. Tell everybody that we're live.
Yeah.
Let everybody know that we're going to have some bets going on. When Will gets his next Android device.
So Will has a gambling channel now. I got it.
Yeah. So
Mike just wants another cheeseburger.
Oh man, with a cold beer. Yeah.
Mike.
Yo.
January, there's no more cheeseburger. And
beer. I understand that.
Mike wants his cheeseburger this month because next month he starts exercising.
That's right.
No more cheeseburger and beer. All
right. But yeah, I just want to say that real quick. Everybody share. There's no what do you call super chat, but get the word out. Let everybody know. Replay. Hit the thumbs up. Share the info around the interwebs, please.
Of course, Mike, you'll probably remember. As soon as you said no cheeseburger, my mind went cheeseburger.
Yeah. Yes.
And then Mike, since you cut in, I can't think of her name. Who was the one who had the tragedy, Mike, when we were off?
Lady Red.
Yeah, that
was terrible. That was terrible. She's back on. And the funny thing was, that morning, which was last week, was the first time I saw a picture of her son on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know she had a son." And then that afternoon, he just offed himself. That was amazing.
Yeah. So everybody who might not or follow or might not or might follow or not follow Lady Red. Yeah. She's a YouTuber. She does we could maybe nickname her the Cricket Girl
because
man
she does almost cricket.
Yeah.
Seems like a really nice. She's about 40 miles west of me, right here in Tennessee.
Okay, she said I thought she was close by. Yeah, I had that feeling. Yeah. So yeah, she lost her son, and at the worst time, I think, near a holiday. You know what I mean?
It's just we could all support her very much in prayer, and she seems to be kind of doing okay. She's still, back around a little bit. So
yeah, so
terrible timing.
Yeah.
But of course, this is the time of year when most suicides happen. More suicides, they always skyrocket around the Christmas time. Yeah.
So I'm busy sharing out to different people out here. So pardon me.
Terrible.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible. Now, George, you have a 3A, right?
Yes.
So you got this update
right here.
So you got it already, the update?
I haven't turned it on. What's the latest update?
Well, you should be having a December update. I was just wondering because
I think I do.
Google's been running late with the Pixel 4.
I haven't turned it on. No, I turned it on yesterday, but I use it to share some of my stuff when I put a new video up, but I didn't look to see if there was an update. So while we're moving on,
they've been running late with the Pixel 4. We're just wondering if you got that one.
Well,
I know.
You know who seems to do best with the updates is OnePlus.
Yeah, and Essential. But Google, they're updating like the 3A and the 3, the 2, but the 4, the newest phone, seems like it's been behind. Like the November update, some people just got it like 2 weeks ago, and then
once again, who's making the decisions?
Yeah,
who's advocating here?
Somebody's forgetting to push the button, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, they're too busy making a chat for photos right now.
That's true. Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, checking for update. No, I didn't get it yet. I still have the November 5th update. Okay. So not here yet.
Just checking. All right. Well, this next story, this should be fun.
All right,
that's all you, babe. That's all you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've got it there.
This is my kind of story, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This one's from 9 to 5 Mac.
Yep.
Apple admits that the iPhone 11 Pro still collects location data even when told not to. A security researcher has found that the iPhone 11 Pro still intermittently collects location data even when the user has blocked it from doing so. Apple has seemingly admitted this, telling the researcher that it is expected behavior. Krebs on Security identified the issue, made a video showing it happening below, and reported it to Apple. However, the response from the iPhone maker implies that certain system services continue to collect location data even when the user has selected never for an individual system services and app.
That's weird.
One of the more curious behaviors of Apple's new iPhone 11 Pro is that it intermittently seeks the user's location information even when all applications and system services on the phone are individually set to never request this data. Apple says this is by design, but that response seems at odds with the company's own privacy policy.
That's true.
The policy says in part, you can also disable location-based system services by tapping on system services and turning off each location-based system service. But apparently, there are some system services on this model and possibly other iPhone 11 models which request location data and cannot be disabled by users without completely turning off location services.
That's ridiculous.
As the arrow icon still appears periodically, even after individually disabling all system services that use location. To be clear, completely turning off location services does work. But if you go into settings, privacy, location services, and individually toggle off every single app, and then scroll down to system services and individually toggle all of those off too, the device will still access your location from time to time. So you can turn it off if you turn off all of the stuff.
Every single one. What a pain in the butt that.
It says you have to turn off all of them, right?
Yeah, but you have to do them individually too.
Apple responded by clearly implying that there are some system services where users don't get to choose whether or not data is collected. And this is what Apple said.
Yeah.
We do not see any actual security implications. An Apple engineer wrote in a response to Krebs on security. It is expected behavior that the location services icon appears in the status bar when location services is enabled. The icon appears for system services that do not have a switch in settings. This does, as Krebs suggests, seem to contradict Apple's claim that users get granular control over sharing their location.
I agree.
For example, someone who wants location services switched on for maps but off for everything else cannot achieve this,
Right.
despite both Apple's privacy policy and the settings app implying that they can.
Absolutely.
Apple reportedly didn't respond to any follow-up questions. We've also reached out to Apple and will update with any response. You can watch the video demo below in which Krebs shows that all individual toggles are off, but the iPhone accesses your location when it connects to Wi-Fi and mobile data.
And that's true. I mean, I watched the video, and yeah, he turned them all off, and it's still accessing crap, but that it has no business. And I think that's totally hypocritical.
I don't think this one isn't the update, right? Is this the updated one? Because I've seen another one where basically what Apple came back and said was that the ultra wideband, whatever, this is how it works. Like, and I don't know. I thought that was the updated article.
It just sounds 100% hypocritical based on all the crap that Apple does.
Wait, George, hold on. Like, let's say, I don't know if they're the first ones with this ultra wideband, whatever it is. Let's say ultra wideband went on a Galaxy or whatever.
Right.
That phone is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You see Tellus's comments?
I feel like Apple never sees any privacy implications, but they always get caught violating.
Put that one up.
YouTube. See, that's why I keep messing up. I keep going to YouTube.
No, okay.
Trying to put it up. All right. But they always get caught.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with him 100%.
Yeah,
and then look at his next comment.
Which, yeah, that's what the latest article I saw was. Apple basically said, I gotta find it. They were like, they're gonna add a switch to be able to turn it off. And
said, I got a link here from 9 to 5 Mac. It says Apple responds to iPhone 11 Pro location sharing controversy. Right. iOS update will add a new toggle. When I'm grabbing the link now and put it in the comments.
StreamYard comments.
Well, I can do both.
Yeah, if you put it in the StreamYard comments, it'll show up in your feed.
I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna share it to you guys.
Okay.
And then I'll put it in the chat, so people can see it too.
All right, I got it. All right, let me see.
Anyway, it just seems awfully hypocritical to me.
Doesn't surprise me.
Now hold on. Let me see. Is this the one? Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is it. I'll skip to the middle. It says, reported by TechCrunch, Apple has shared the reason the iPhone 11 Pro remains tracking location data even when it's disabled is due to the new ultra-wideband technology. Ultra-wideband technology is an industry standard technology that is subject to international regulatory requirements that require it to be turned off in certain locations. And Apple spokesperson said, iOS uses location services to help determine if the iPhone is in these prohibited locations in order to disable ultra-wideband and comply with regulations. Then they said, the management of ultra-wideband compliance and its use of location data is done entirely on the device, and Apple is not collecting data. Now, just going back, let's say the Pixel 4, right?
Right.
The Pixel 4, we all know that radar thing can't work in India.
Right.
So if you turn off location, but you go to India, I guarantee you that it's going to know where you're at. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I don't see what the big deal is, because it's something on the phone that has to work. Because
I think the big deal is
because it's Apple.
Because Apple tries to make a big deal about them being more concerned with your security than any of the other companies. And they're right. They do try to make that a big deal. And this shows you that they're just like everybody else.
Nah, but it's like, all right, if
Listen to Mr. Apple Juice defending.
no. Listen, if the Pixel 4 knows you went to India, right?
Right.
You turned off location data. Are you going to be like, location data is off? How does it know I'm in India?
Yeah, well, you should be. That's
You know
true.
what I mean, you should.
But does it also affect location? Affect how the phone operates too, as far as you get the full features that it can provide to you?
On the Pixel 4?
Well, Pixel, any of these phones.
Listen, it's the same kind of thing though, because if Apple is saying whatever that ultra wideband thing is, and certain places have regulations on that technology, the same way with the Soli radar, India has a regulation on the radar.
That's true.
So they have to be able to know when you're at that spot to either allow you to use the radar or turn it off.
All right. We'll put up Tellus's last comment because I think that's a good one. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, but you can't say it's shady because all right, let's say
I think it is.
no, because all right, George, listen. Let's say Apple said, all right, we're not going to use this ultra wideband technology because people are going to say that it's stealing your data. So is iPhone just supposed to never have it because you think they're stealing your location?
Okay, I'm not saying they should never have it. What I am saying is, if they're going to have it, stop telling us that you're not collecting data because you are.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different.
No. Either you're collecting data or you're not. If you are, stop telling me you're not.
It's different though, because on the Pixel, they'll tell you your the Google Assistant. They moved everything to be on device, right?
Right.
So when I'm talking to the assistant, supposedly Google isn't collecting my data.
True.
So Apple is telling you the same thing. We're not collecting your data. Isn't going back to Apple. Your data is
collecting your data.
Your data is stored on the phone. That's what it's telling you. If you read the article, it's saying
you think nothing is going to. I don't.
So if you think that theirs isn't, then Google's got to be doing the same thing.
Well, they don't have to be, but they're
Google would never do something like that.
If you think that Google is, if you think that Apple is sending it back to Apple's server or whatever, then Google's doing the same thing.
We should all just buy a Facebook phone and be done with this.
Yeah, and a portal. Get a Facebook portal. Okay.
It's kind of like either way they're gonna lose, because if they said, all right, we're gonna be ultra strict because every little thing that they do, somebody is digging in there to find a reason to disprove it. So it's not like they're saying your Maps data is still on. If they went in there and discovered that Apple Maps is still tracking you and can tell you every location you went to after you turned it off, that's different. But for the little toggle to come on for 30 seconds and be able to say you're in whatever place or you're not, that's.
But that means they're collecting data on you.
No, but they're not. Oh, it's different, George. They're not.
No way you once in a while.
That long pause, I love it.
But, okay, so what you're saying is you would rather say have to miss out on whatever the ultra wideband technology is doing versus have them collect that data.
In today's environment, if the ultra wideband is
but okay, I'm looking at my phone.
Impacting our security, then I'm saying they should all do without it. Yes.
How is that affecting your security? What's not then? Everything on the phone is affecting your security.
Telus is saying exactly what I'm saying. All I'm saying is just be honest with me. You're collecting data. Period. I don't care if you're only doing it every once in a while. You're still collecting data. I don't mind them collecting data. Just don't lie to me about it.
And they use the word private. I see it tell us a thing. Exactly. I said a few months ago, or almost a year ago, they're going to use this private thing as a marketing ploy.
Yeah, but
okay? Of course, because
everybody else, they're using the word and they keep getting caught.
Oh yeah, they're all getting caught.
Yeah, but
exactly.
I don't know. To me, this isn't. I don't know. I don't think this is a
I don't mind how much. You know me. I don't care how much of my data you collect. Just don't tell me you're not doing it. That's all I'm.
I don't know. I don't think it's not like they discovered that the Maps app is still You know what I mean? It's still tracking you
I understand it, but like you said, Will, if every once in a while it comes on and finds out where you are, that's still collecting data.
But it has to.
Okay,
It's
don't tell me you're not.
It's a part of the technology, though.
I'm not
So,
agreeing with you.
Wait.
What I'm
so,
saying,
so George, for
You're not
you to be so, but I don't understand how you can be mad at Apple for that.
I'm
If you want,
doing it. I'm mad at Apple telling me that they're lying to me when they say they're not collecting data.
I love this word. It is an expected behavior.
They kept saying that over and over again.
An expected behavior.
Because it is. If it's an expected behavior of whatever technology's in the phone, then you just accept it when you buy that technology.
If it's an accepted behavior, stop telling me you're not collecting my data, because you are.
But on the other hand, let me just say this: wait a minute. In the terms and conditions, we all approve this before we can even go on to set up the phone.
That's true.
And that's where they get you.
Don't send me with all kinds of how you're protecting our privacy, because you're still collecting my data.
I like Intel's right. Privacy went out the window in Y2K.
I agree 100%.
I think it got
for Y2K myself, so I understand.
I think the whole thing got blown up, because that's like me saying I turned off location.
Blown up.
That's like me saying I turned
where
off.
I am once a day. You're collecting data from me.
George, that's like me saying I turned off all the location data on my Pixel. So when I go to India, the Soli should still work. It's not going to work.
Soli's not going to work, but Google is still collecting your data, and they're going to know you're in India.
It's the same thing. So it's the same thing. If I turned off all the location data, it's still going to.
Disagreeing with you about it being the same thing. What I'm disagreeing with is don't believe them when they tell you they're not collecting your data, because they are collecting your data.
I don't know. If it's on it, I don't know. Whatever.
What you're saying is it's okay if you're only collecting it once in a while, but telling me you're never collecting it. I don't buy that.
If it was the Maps app collecting my data, it's different. But if
you care what app is collecting your data, all I'm saying is if you're collecting my data, tell me you're collecting my data. I don't care what app you're using. I don't care what app you're using. Just don't tell me you're not collecting it. You're just lying to my face. And then you turn around and say,
I like this sixes. Wait a minute. We'll put this here. Hold on. I'll demo it. Hold on. Hey Siri, call Tim Cook.
I don't see a Tim Cook in your contacts. Who would you like to call?
I think what it should have said is, "What do you want me to call him?" Though.
Oh man.
There you go. There you go, Gary. Right on, Gary. That is the right comment.
Oh man.
That's right. Gary,
that's a hell of an analogy. I like that.
Boils it down to the basics. I like it.
Man. See, folks. Look, we go away for 2 weeks, and we're all hyped up, man. Okay.
I thought I was going to be the calm one tonight, I guess.
You know, we've been saving up. You know.
Put up Tulsa's comment. I like that. Mike, that's true.
What is that?
Tulsa's next comment. No, you skipped one. Go back.
Will's defending collecting data like people defend Tom Brady.
Exactly.
Oh my God!
Wait. You can
more like Inflategate, I think.
Hold on. You can. So what did they say? You can still turn off the data collection, right?
Yeah, you can turn off location.
Oh, it's in here.
You have to flick them all off.
Yeah, but it said even after you flick them all off, it's still occasionally going to collect some.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So at least we got some track.
Everybody's alive this week.
All right. Now, Mike, you put an update to this story.
That's the one. That's the one I shared.
Oh, that's the one you shared. Okay.
All right. I forgot I put that in there last minute. Again, notes. Google didn't inform you. That would have been nice.
Yeah. Well, they probably don't know you're an all for it too. So.
I'm getting up there next month.
There you are. Yeah, but starting next month, you're going to be a much healthier old fart, and I approve of that.
Well, yes, I'm getting there. Yes, I'll be getting there. Yes.
Okay, are we moving on?
Yeah, we hope
Okay.
so, Mike.
I get to read the next story, don't I?
Yeah, go ahead. By all means, privacy is your
Yeah.
right.
I am probably the biggest Google fanboy here, so it makes sense.
Well, no, wait. Oh, okay. Hold on.
All right.
We missed the butterfly key one.
Yeah, the class action lawsuit.
Well, should I go back, or you want to read this one
It's
first?
already up. Go ahead. It don't matter.
Okay.
All right. All right. This is on The Verge, and this just happened. The funny thing was, Will had sent us the notes for this week's stories, and this came out. The story came out right after he sent it to us.
Mm-hmm.
So this is on The Verge, and this was kind of a big deal. Google co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin relinquished control of Alphabet to CEO Sundar Pichai. Google's two co-founders are stepping back for good. Google co-founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin, who have mostly stayed out of the spotlight since restructuring their company 4 years ago, are relinquishing control of parent company Alphabet to current Google CEO Sundar Pichai. The duo announced today in a joint letter published to Google's public blog. The two men will remain employees of Alphabet and retain their seats on the board, but they will no longer oversee the company's sprawling, almost $1 trillion empire they created while at Stanford University more than 20 years ago. With Alphabet now well established and Google and the other bets, I don't know what other bets are, operating effectively as independent companies, it's the natural time to simplify our management structure. We've never been ones to hold on to management roles when we think there's a better way to run the company. And Alphabet and Google no longer need two CEOs and the president. Going forward, Sundar will be the CEO of both Google and Alphabet, Page and Brin wrote. He will be the executive responsible and accountable for leading Google and managing Alphabet's investment in our portfolio of other bets. We are deeply committed to Google and Alphabet for the long term and will remain actively involved as board members, shareholders, and co-founders. In addition, we plan to continue talking with Sundar regularly, especially on topics we're passionate about. In an email sent to employees and later published alongside Page and Brin's letter, Pichai stressed that the change will have little to no impact on how Google operates on a day-to-day basis. I want to be clear that this transition won't affect the Alphabet structure or the work we do day to day. I will continue to be very focused on Google and the deep work we're doing to push the boundaries of computing and build a more helpful Google for everyone, Pichai wrote. At the same time, I'm excited about Alphabet and its long-term focus. Talking to me again. And its long-term focus on tackling big challenges through technology. The news, while it sounds like a shocking development for the course of Google's future, is not surprising to those who have followed Page and Brin's career since 2015. The duo have rarely made public appearances, spoken on investor calls, or shown their faces at product launches or the company's annual I/O developer conference. Brin, who once hosted a live skydiving demo of the now defunct Google Glass at I/O, was often a showy futurism-loving face of the company's more experimental efforts, while Page, the acting CEO of Google until Pichai took over, was the overall executive face. Both effectively disappeared from public view, however, after the company was restructured. The creation of Alphabet was controversial in 2015, making an unprecedented corporate structure for Silicon Valley at a time when the tech giants were amassing huge power and consolidating industries. Alphabet was designed to split Google into its main business, which includes its search engine and nearly a dozen other massive products, and the other disparate arms of the company, like its X Lab, formerly the Moonshot Factory Google X, and now its self-driving unit Waymo. But the creation of Alphabet also gave Page and Brin carte blanche to fade from the limelight and let Pichai take the reins. Page has since become involved in electric aircraft companies like California-based Kitty Hawk, while Brin has mostly stayed out of the headlines, save a rare public appearance at San Francisco International Airport in early 2017 to protest the President Donald Trump's early term immigration-related executive order. And I'm not going to read the tweets. Pichai has gone on to grow Google into an even larger facet of daily online life, overseeing the launch of the Pixel brand and Google's other hardware efforts, in addition to the company's immense investment in artificial intelligence and cloud computing. Since the creation of Alphabet, the company's stock price has more than doubled, as has the company's revenue. In its first quarterly earnings report since Alphabet's formation, the company reported sales of $18.7 billion. That's in one quarter. In its most recent quarterly earnings report, Alphabet reported sales of more than $36.3 billion. That's incredible. But Page and Brin also handed the CEO title to Pichai at a time of increasing scrutiny of big tech, and Google and its YouTube subsidiary have faced a severe series of controversies since the company's co-founder stepped back. Similar to fellow big tech companies Amazon and Facebook, the last 4 years have been arguably the most contentious in Google's history, as an activist coalition of employers have arisen within the company to fight for change, and lawmakers, activists, and regulators have sought to check Google's power from the outside. As a result, Pichai has become the face of the company's efforts to weather these storms, including high-profile incidents like the firing of diversity critic James Damore, and more recently, the company's involvement in the Department of Defense drone project and its plans, now reportedly on ice, to launch a search product for the Chinese market. I wrote about those in 2 different articles. Pichai and YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki have also had to answer for the video platform's own set of controversies, ranging from child exploitation and radicalization, content running wild on the platform, to moderation and speech issues over who gets to stay on YouTube and to what effect. In Europe and in the US, Google has also been the subject of antitrust investigations, some of which remain ongoing and face numerous multi-billion-dollar fines for anti-competitive practices in the last few years. Yet perhaps most pressing for Google leadership right now is the company's past and current handling of sexual harassment and labor activism. After news broke that both Page and Brin oversaw the approval of a $90 million exit package for disgraced Android co-founder Andrew Rubin, who was accused of alleged sexual misconduct by a former employee, employees organized what was at the time the largest internal protest the company had ever seen, called the Google Walkout, and involving more than 20,000 employees worldwide. Since then, Google leadership has been accused of retaliating against the organizers of that walkout, as well as other protest actions. Google now faces a lawsuit over the firing of several employees, I think that was actually 4, who helped organize those actions, as well as an internal investigation into its handling of sexual harassment and assault claims. It's unclear how involved Page or Brin will be outside the occasional conversation with Pichai, or whether the duo will have any influence at all on how the company handles its various lawsuits, regulatory concerns, and internal company strife and flagging morale. It's also unclear what the 2 co-founders will do with their immense wealth. Both men have a combined net worth of more than $100 billion when factoring in Alphabet stock, and neither have hinted at any form of philanthropy or at the possible founding of nonprofits or other charitable giving. To me, that whole sentence is way out of line. It's their money. Who are you to say that they it's almost as this says that they have to do some philanthropy.
George, you look who's writing the article, okay?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's like they're not allowed to do with their money what they earned. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's just me. We are deeply humbled to have seen a small research project develop into a source of knowledge and empowerment for billions, a bet we made as 2 Stanford students that led to a multitude of other technology bets, the duo wrote in conclusion in their farewell letter announcing their departure. We could not have imagined back in 1998 when we moved our service from a dorm room to a garage, the journey that would follow. So yeah,
Yeah.
that whole article, that was the one thing I find that extremely offensive. It's like, well, you guys are both billionaires, so you have to go do something. Why do they have to? You know, to me, that's ridiculous.
Mhm.
That's just me. But I'm a capitalist and I admit it. So anyway, so I think it's a very good deal.
Cash now.
Is now in charge of everything. He runs everything.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you guys think of what's coming ahead, especially in our realm, in our phone tech realm? What do you think that's going to play out?
How do you mean? You mean on YouTube or what?
Well, Pixel, Chromebooks, Google Fi.
Well, it said it said Sundar has been in charge of the hardware efforts so far, including the Pixel. So, and while I was reading that, I'm thinking, you know, Pixel is Pixel, but it seems to me that Google Home stuff and Nest products are a lot more successful than Pixel. So that's just my opinion.
George, because Google can't sell the Pixel because Android is everywhere.
Okay, but my point being that it seems to me Sundar is doing a pretty terrific job with all the other hardware. That's what I'm.
You think okay?
Yeah, you can say what you want about the Pixel.
So you mean but I don't know. I think it's because the landscape is different. Like with phones, they have tougher competition, I think, than
the phone.
I agree.
like an Alexa.
Keep in mind when it comes to like the Google Home, well, there's only them and Amazon and everybody else is minor by comparison.
Munchie's crazy.
What do you say?
He's Munchie.
His Pixel. This is what I call it now.
Okay.
I guess that's what he's calling the Pixel.
I think so.
Gary bought a Note 10. I can't believe it.
But he's going to return it. He said, "Come back."
Yeah, I returned mine to Gary.
Isn't Gary missed the Pixel though? Yeah.
Pixel just needs good hardware specs. They change premium price for compared to other OEM.
Yeah, but wait, we got to talk about the what's his name? We got to get to that.
Yeah, we'll save that. Okay.
But
Munchie does have a point there.
Wait, Gary, why don't you like it? Because all right, like I don't know what you paid for it. I think it was $8.99 when I got it, right?
You talk about the Note 10, right?
Yeah, the Note 10 Plus. The phone, the specs are ridiculous. 256 gigs of storage, 12 gigs of RAM. The screen kills the Pixel 4. The battery's good. You got all those features. What didn't you like about it? The camera, you got wide angle. Like, what makes you think the Pixel? What makes the Pixel worth more than what I paid $1,000 for the Pixel and $8.99 for the Note.
And I just caught my wife before going on air. She was actually playing around with it because she took a picture of some Christmas tree, and she was actually playing around with the camera, and she was impressed with what it was doing. So even I was impressed too.
Now,
you know what I mean?
I don't have either one, but isn't the cameras better on the Pixel than it is on the Note 10 Plus?
I think that it's, you know what it is, George? The color is different. It depends on what colors you like.
But you know, you're going to make all the colors pop. That's what they do. That's what they always do.
No. I mean, like, even they say warm or whatever, warm or cool, whatever.
Right.
Like, the whites look different on the Pixel than they do. To me, with the Note, the Pixel looked more, the colors were a little more accurate.
Yeah.
But for the same price, I mean, for basically the same price, sometimes that you can get the Note for cheaper. I was wondering why Gary doesn't like the Note, because the Note is like the better value.
All right, you should highlight Don's. Okay,
I see it.
I agree. Yes, I know what Munchie's talking about. Natural colors equals the Pixel, and yeah, it's true.
Exactly. Yeah.
But like
the most natural colors you're going to find on any phone is going to be the Nokia 9 PureView.
See, I I mean, I know why I always go to the Pixel because it's stock, but I don't know. I prefer
You
that.
can go to
Even-
OnePlus for that.
yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. I always go back to the Pixel, but I just wonder because Gary, I don't think I ever heard Gary say he had anything but a Pixel. So I'm surprised that he even tried the Note.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that too. Yeah, that too. That is me. You know.
Couple of the colors, yeah, Bunchy's right. And I will. My wife was taking that picture. The colors were very vibrant,
Yeah, and that's what Samsung.
and they've been like this forever.
Samsung's not
They've
the
been
only
like that
one.
forever. So
But yeah, Samsung is always going to make the colors pop more. They're going to make it more vibrant and warmer. You know, and some people
Yeah.
don't like that.
yeah. Gary says you got 30 cameras on that
And that Nokia, yeah.
Actually, there are 5 cameras, but that's true. Yeah. But yeah, if you want the most realistic color, that's the phone. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I'm surprised he even got it. Yeah, but like even with the updates, the
Saying it was a deal you had to jump on. You know.
the updates don't even really matter because the Note has so many features. It's like the Pixel is so far behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's what people buy Samsung top-end phones for features. You know.
Yeah, like the Pixel's so far behind. Samsung's got scrolling screenshot and you
Yeah.
know, they got a ton of features. The value, it doesn't hold no value, but
No, that's true.
and you're not gonna get they're kind of doing good with the updates this year. So
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
Munchie makes a good point. Samsung got all the bells and whistles in the software, but you just don't use them too often, and that is true. I always play on with Samsung phones.
yeah, it's like a trade-off, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, to me, Samsung's camera is great, and a lot of the features, like I remember Mike was like, I think when we were eating, he was like, why don't you use food mode? A lot of those modes and stuff in the camera, I turn them off. But
I almost never use food mode either for that.
So-
But I always forget to take pictures of my food anyway. So
like if I take a picture, the pixel color would look more accurate than
more
Samsung.
realistic. Yeah, I agree.
But Samsung had that wide angle. That wide angle is nice.
Well, the wide angle is nice on the OnePlus. You know.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Tellus. Oh god.
Okay. And Gary makes a good point. Value is what you value. That's true.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
All right. So where are we? You said, the butterfly one. Is it? You want to go that one, Mike? You going to go that one? We doing
sorry.
that?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we can go to the butterfly keyboard.
I mean, I'm pulling it up.
George, you got Don's room on Telegram? Or George, just give me when we get done. Give me Don's information.
Okay. Yeah, I have his room on the Telegram. I just never have time to go into Telegram anymore.
All right.
And Don's room is super active. I'll
I
tell
was
you that.
trying to find him, but I
Don
can't
Don
find
has a Telegram room?
him.
Oh yeah. And boy, is it active.
What is it called? Whose name is it under?
That's why I was trying to find him.
It's under him. Wait, let me go.
Oh, heck.
Let me see if I can find it. Been a while since I've been in there.
Okay.
It's funny how Telegram, different groups come up on different phones. It's very weird.
I got him, George. I got him.
Adam, what's the name of the group? I forgot.
I don't know the group. I just found him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mike, he said send him your Telegram.
Okay.
Okay. There you go.
Don, wait a minute. Sell him what? Send me your Telegram.
Your idea, I guess.
Okay.
Do it, I guess. There it is. DD_BRA.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mine's at simply _ your _ device.
Okay. You weren't sure, were you?
No, I don't mess with it too much. I just
Yeah.
go in and just jump in and message and go.
Okay.
Don't worry. Wait till they add the new Photos app in the Telegram.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Mike,
Really.
Mike,
Message and Telegram.
Mike, this story's for you.
All right. Here we go.
All right, you ready? I got it, Mike. 'Cause I think you read the last one.
No,
I
he
think
didn't.
wasn't I the last one to read? I thought I was the last
No,
one.
I was the last.
I mean, before, like I was the last one. I thought it don't matter.
Don't
All right,
confuse
you want
me,
it,
oh man. All right,
Mike?
whoever,
I
got it.
Everybody's gonna be hitting up Donna in the Telegram room now.
I got it,
There
Mike.
you go.
All right, go
This
ahead.
is from 5 Mac.
All right.
Apple forced to face class action lawsuit over problematic butterfly keyboards. That means they should be sending me some money, maybe, right? Apple will have to continue battling a class action lawsuit in California over its butterfly keyboard design. Reuters reports today that a federal judge has rejected Apple's request to dismiss the proposed class action lawsuit over the keyboard's failure and reliability issues. The lawsuit was first filed in May of 2018, with the Apple users arguing that reliability issues makes Apple's Butterfly keyboard inoperable and unsuitable for its ordinary and intended use. Furthermore, the lawsuit alleges that Apple knew of the Butterfly keyboard issues but did nothing to remedy them. U.S. District Judge Edward Davila now says that Apple will be required to face the allegations that it failed to provide an effective fix for the Butterfly keyboard problems that continue to plague many MacBook, MacBook Air, and MacBook Pro users. Apple is running a keyboard repair program for the Butterfly keyboard, but the lawsuit notes that the repair program does not necessarily fix the reliability issues. Instead, Apple is simply replacing the failing keyboards with keyboards that will fail again at some point down the line.
Yeah, that's helpful.
The lawsuit covers MacBook and MacBook Pro models introduced since 2015. The MacBook Air is not mentioned, but it will likely get added at some point.
I have one.
Apple did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Benjamin Johns, a lawyer for the plaintiffs, said he was pleased with the decision and looked forward to pursuing the case. Apple just debuted the new 16-inch MacBook Pro with a more reliable Magic Keyboard scissor switch design. The company, however, continues to sell various other MacBook Air and MacBook Pro models with the unreliable Butterfly keyboard design. Now that Apple has lost its bid to have this case dismissed, it will continue to play out. If you're interested in joining the class action lawsuit, you can do so here. What do you think Apple should do for the affected Butterfly keyboard users? Let us know in the comments. And my keyboard still works, but it does get sticky sometimes, but I haven't had to have it repaired.
And on my MacBook Air, I haven't had any issues that I know about.
Yeah, just like Munchie said, the old MacBook is more expensive than the new one because of the keyboard.
That's ridiculous.
George, look at that. You see that? Is your background changing?
Yes. Who asked that?
Tell us.
Tell us, yeah.
Yeah, I have like 6 different pictures. Yeah.
I'm laughing at Munchie, what Munchie said. Oh, God. Munchie's crazy. Oh, man. Just bring, they can't, man. I think they did now tell us the keyboards. But if you already got the other one, you're stuck like me because they're not going to do nothing. They're just going to keep fixing it.
Yeah, Teller says, I don't need no magic in my piece, just need QWERTY to function. I'm thinking, we don't need no stinking magic.
Well, if it gives me the old keyboard back, I'll take that one over this one.
Well, thank you, Tellus. He feels like he's on vacation watching my backgrounds change. Okay.
Does this keyboard he presently have? What year is yours, Will?
I think this is hold on, let me see if I can get it.
I have a 2015 MacBook Air, but I haven't had any issues that I have noticed.
Hold on, Mike. I'm trying to find it. This is a 2017.
That's much updated compared to mine.
17.
The reason I got the MacBook Air because it had the i7 and I needed the i7. I felt for my.
But look at Teller's comments. It feels like he's on vacation watching those backgrounds.
Yeah, I like that.
Good. Yeah, Mike. It's. I wouldn't buy one again if I knew the keyboard sucked like this when I got it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the older ones. Yeah, the keyboards are a lot better. Like this one, you get sticky buttons all the time. That's why. Have you ever seen? Like, if you ever follow like Mr. Mobile, or they always joke around.
Oh,
and he'll,
yeah.
like mistype on purpose and be making fun of the keyboard. And sometimes it's he'll say when he's typing, he'll get like letters repeating. And
That's what I see him do that. Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
the keyboard is just terrible. It sticks a lot.
Yeah, I don't think I have any of those issues, thank God.
Oh, you see what he said, George?
Yeah, I see what he said. I like it. Thank you, Munchie. So far, I think I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, Mike, you know what we got now? Some of your stuff.
Okay. All right. Now, where are we going next? Now
We got Mike's.
Are we going to talk about Juan's video or what?
We can talk about Juan's video. Mike traveling.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about North Carolina stuff first. And
Okay.
the 5G stuff. Yeah. All right. So, Mike, you started.
This is more of an observation, a little bit of a rant, and also it kind of dawned on me. I said I got to share this with everybody.
Okay.
I want to. If you look on the map, look up Atlantic Beach.
I did, and you know what my first thought was when I saw
that?
what it was? There's no way in the world I'd live there. You are where the worst hurricanes that hit this country come almost all the time.
Well, tell my friend, my wife's girlfriend, that maybe they'll move back to Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when hurricanes come to the U.S., who gets hit more than anybody else? North Carolina, right there.
They've been there for going on 3 years, and I think they've gotten hit by 3 major storms.
Yeah, and that's when everybody else doesn't get a hurricane. You can almost guarantee the Outer Banks are going to get one.
Well, they're below the Outer Banks. If you look on the map, they're below it, but yeah, they're still in the target zone without a doubt.
I agree, but anyway, yeah, it's probably beautiful when there's not a hurricane. I could not live where I thought hurricanes like that.
No, Gary, North Carolina, Atlantic Beach.
Yeah, North Carolina. Yeah,
out just outside of Moore's Head. So in my travels, this is my 3rd trip down, and I experienced the other 2 times of really poor cellular connections, data and phone, or just data, or just
that's
mostly.
Right. You were tweeting about that, yeah.
And for a few things, the biggest thing that occurred to me was that right now we're all of a sudden winding up for this big race to 5G.
True.
And I'm like thinking to myself, wait a minute, why are we worrying about 5G? Why don't we get coverage to places in where there should be coverage?
Well, I think that's part of, at least with T-Mobile, I think that's part of their point. What they're saying is they'll be able to cover places that never got covered before, especially a lot of rural places.
Well, they need to get the 4G to work right.
Well, I think what they're saying is that they can get, like today, they released the 5G all over the country. And it's the low band 5G, but I'm betting that if you had one of those 5G phones, I bet you'd get coverage quicker with one of those than you would.
All right. Wait. That's the other point.
Yeah.
Nobody where I driven and I saw, pardon me, but does not have. They barely have 2 nickels rubbed together.
Right.
Okay.
They're not buying no 5G, huh?
They don't buy no 5G phone.
Yeah, but now, of course, I'm a T-Mobile. I love T-Mobile above the others. But what T-Mobile has going for it, at least with these 2 phones, and this time around, AT&T and Verizon are both charging you for the phones, and they're saying you're going to have to buy a more expensive plan. At least T-Mobile is not making you go on a more expensive plan, so I'll give them that.
Yeah, but George, okay, I don't understand how it works because I haven't been paying attention to T-Mobile's 5G. Let's say I go to T-Mobile tomorrow and buy me a McLaren edition. Mike would love it. Mike would love it, right?
I'll buy you a burger. I'll buy you a burger.
Let's say I go to T-Mobile down the street and buy me a McLaren edition OnePlus 7 Pro.
I'll get you all the fries you can eat.
Right. Okay. So, all right.
Now, am I going to have 5G?
I believe you will. In a lot of places.
Mike, am I going to have 5G where I'm at right now?
I think you will. Supposedly it was released today. I think you'll have some kind of 5G almost everywhere, especially every place.
I don't believe it.
Well,
Because
just based on the videos I've seen from MKBH, at least 3 other videos, and
Because
they
George,
seem to have some kind of coverage in New York and in California, and it sometimes it's a little bit faster than 4G, but keep in mind this is low band. That's why I think T-Mobile's doing it right, because it's not like millimeter wave. It doesn't get stopped by everybody's body in a pole and going around a corner. You know?
because George, you see where I live at, where me and Mike live. We're
Right.
not near no, you know what I mean?
Well, I can't say for sure, but I'm betting that if you just walk around where you live, you're going to see 5G. Now, everywhere, probably not. I don't know, but you're going to see it. I'm pretty sure based on what I've seen. Now, of course, I'm not spending $900 to go find out.
And that's what I was trying to get at, was that they should concentrate on getting at least the 4G to work right. I driven through towns. Of course, there were moments where I was, for a long stretches of road, there was nobody to be found except for, wandering deer.
Right.
All right. But I still say,
here's what I think the point is, Mike. I think they're basically saying we can get this low band 5G to work just about everywhere, and we're not going to be able to do that with 4G. That's what I think is happening.
I know.
I don't think they can get 4G working in all the rural places they would like to, but I think they can get it working with 5G. That's the implication, in my opinion.
But
Just get 5GE and call it a day.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
all. That's all
Exactly.
you need.
Yeah.
But I want to know then is this one question: the whole travel in these dead zones. My S9 on Visible.
That's right. For
Killed it.
$25
Did it
a month.
really? Did
It
it really?
killed everybody.
For
It
$25
killed.
a
I've
month.
had Google Fi down there. I've had AT&T. I've had
Okay.
Sprint. I've had, I forget, only other carrier that worked, at least at her house, her girlfriend's house.
Right.
I got them on one time. And they didn't. That's a long story, but they don't have it.
So you're saying
Total wireless.
it was always Visible.
Ah, hit the button, George.
I did. Anyway, that's great, I think.
I can't believe this phone got me out of more pickles at times
Okay.
on the Visible. Mega pickles.
Mega pickles. There you go. There you go.
They
We've
had a
all,
lot of mega pickles.
all been watching Juan too much. Okay.
$25 a month.
Yep. Well, mind you, got to get 4 people, right? Right, Will?
Yeah, $25 a month. You can't beat it.
And I will admit, I have to say, that was a sticking point on Will's part in having an extra line.
Yeah, it was.
Because I could not believe Note 10 Plus, it doesn't work on Visible.
Okay.
Not at the moment, not right now. And I say to Will, believe me, Will, I think they'll get it going.
Mike tried to convince me. He was like, "It's coming, though. It's coming."
Mike-
I'm telling you.
Will, are you still using Visible?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
on the iPhone. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just was it was frustrating, and that's the other thing that led me to also question. I've been having these issues at times with my wife's Note 9, being it was an international model.
All right.
Literally, the only way I could describe it at times is when the phone sits idle for a long period.
Right.
I would try and call her, and she would not hear it. No rings. It
Really?
did it one time here. I had to catch it one day. I figured, let me just try it from the house. Did not ring. It went right to voicemail. I tried to message her. I tried Google Duo.
Couldn't even get a message through?
Nope.
Right.
Now the biggest thing was that was one of the deciding factors was she goes, I don't have service. Meanwhile, this had service. In all the places she's kept on saying I didn't have service. Now I'm not going to say I would all of a sudden watch the little triangle go from full to nothing to hollow.
Yeah.
But for the most part, this held in her. Yes, the T-Mobile's gotten better down there.
Okay.
But the thing was with her phone, she would just not have nothing for a
Right.
long time, and being where her girlfriend lives is an absolute black hole for data.
Okay.
And she doesn't have the best she doesn't have the best Wi-Fi service
Invisible was
either.
better than all of them.
I'm sorry.
Invisible was better than all of them.
Visible killed it, man.
That's amazing.
Visible really was surprising. I was really
Visible
surprised.
Visible is MB. Who are they pulling there?
Verizon.
Verizon.
It was Verizon. Okay.
And they're their own, right? I guess they're in a way their own, aren't they, Will?
What?
No, I think all their towers are Verizon towers.
All their towers are Verizon. Yeah.
Yeah, but doesn't Verizon really own
Yeah,
Visible
they
in a
own
way?
them.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Now, see, Gary's agreeing with you that LTP should be more dependable before, but it seems like technology-wise, what I'm hearing is 5G just covers better than LTE. I just think that's probably the case.
I think 5G is overrated.
I don't think so. If it covers better, especially in rural areas, than LTE, then I'd say if you can afford a 5G phone and you don't have to pay extra for a stupid plan, then go with the 5G.
Now wait. So here's a question. This T-Mobile, let's say, because Verizon has 5G now, right?
Right.
I read
Verizon and AT&T are using millimeter wave. T-Mobile
AT&T has it out now too, right?
Listed, but it seems to at least go everywhere.
AT&T has 5G out now too,
Yeah,
right?
but they are also using millimeter wave.
But I mean,
millimeter wave, if you walk between the phone and something.
No, George. What I'm saying is they have a phone that you can buy a phone from them now, right?
Yeah, for either one.
Okay, so everybody has a 5G phone out now.
Yes.
So let's say if I go to T-Mobile and buy the T-Mobile
Note 10 Plus.
OnePlus or Note 10, whatever.
Right.
If I go buy the phone, I pay the phone off. Can I take that phone to AT&T and get 5G?
I don't think so, because right now T-Mobile's is only the low band and AT&T.
Right.
Millimeter
I
wave.
think it's all about the bands. Again, more
And if you go to T-Mobile or Verizon, they're not even going to turn it on unless you pay the monthly extra that they want you to pay. And that's one thing that T-Mobile is doing.
No, I'm saying let's say I did. Let's say I didn't care about paying it. Would the phone even give me 5G on the other network?
I don't know, because are these phones built just for the low band or just for the mid band and low band? I don't know.
I'm not beat for that.
It sounds to me like AT&T's and Verizon's are only using millimeter wave right now, and T-Mobile's only using low band right now, and they're depending on Sprint, which has the mid band. Eventually, they're going to get the millimeter wave too. But if you don't want everything cutting off on you every time you turn a corner, I think you better go with low band or mid band.
Yeah, I couldn't pay that kind of money, and then
I just don't get it. I just don't get why the 5G thing is so
because
I don't believe it.
Mike, listen,
I don't believe it's going to help the people in rural areas.
Because when you go on YouTube,
I think they're going to show that it will. I think,
Mike, when you go on YouTube, people are on there telling you that the speed is so amazing until you actually get it.
On low band, and they're admitting that it's a little bit better, and sometimes that's a lot better.
That's right, Munchie. And when Apple releases their 5G phone, then Google will release a 5G.
Well,
phone.
but he's got a point. In 2022, my guess is they'll all be on 5G and probably be working pretty good. Is my guess.
I really feel strong that they need to work on getting a better services out to those people in rural areas.
That's what 5G does better than 4G. That's the point.
Then again, now you're making people have to go get a 5G phone.
Okay, but if you want, look, if 4G is not capable of doing it and 5G is, to me, it's worth going.
You need towers. You need towers out there.
No. What I'm saying is, it seems that the low band just covers a lot more than the 4G will. I don't know why, but it's something in the technology is my guess. Now, for me myself, I can see myself in the first 6 months of next year getting one of those 5G phones.
Listen, Mike,
Paying extra for a monthly charge.
Mike, let's make a bet. By March, George is gonna have a 5G phone.
I wouldn't bet you on that. 'Cause
Yeah, but that means we got to go to Tennessee to collect.
that's possible. I don't know that that's not true.
Yeah, look, unlimited 5G, 150 per gig.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that sounds like an Apple price to me. I don't.
Oh,
when Apple drops 5G, then it'll be free.
Then without doubt,
Then it'll be free.
without doubt,
And
5G is the thing to have.
And then it'll be the starting phone will be $2,000.
But when they do it, then it's gonna be when Apple does it, it'll be serious.
Yeah, it'll be serious.
yeah.
And it'll be people like Sundar Pichai can afford to buy one.
Because
PhD.
the same
Click
way
on that
Google,
next comment.
what's the
Click
name
on
of
that,
it?
the Bunchie's comment.
You need towers, like Mike said. But 5G is a bigger one for the company since you will have to buy 5G from them.
I'm still betting 5G.
Yes.
I'm still betting
Yes.
5G just flat out covers better than 4G. That's my guess.
It's like you're saying, Mike. It's about money.
Well, it's always about money. These companies, these are capitalist companies.
Because
so-
look what Verizon had 5G, whatever, with that Motorola phone. They were like giving it away.
Yeah, that's true.
What, the mods? Big deal.
Yeah, you had
There's no service. You got a mod that does squat.
And if you
Look,
want,
they have 5G. You have 5G, man.
have 5G
But-
anymore.
That's what I'm saying. It's about money because once they get you in their contract with that free, quote unquote, free phone with the mod, you're stuck with them for 2.5 years.
Right.
You live in a capitalist
And you're paying extra for the
society.
company
Shouldn't it be about money? Because if it's not your company, your whole country collapses.
But
because
It's not about money.
to me the whole advantage of 5G is the extra speed or whatever. It's not worth it now.
And I agree with you. The real speed of 5G, we're probably 3 or 4 years away from that. But 5G is so freaking fast. I can guarantee you that 5, 6, 7 years from now, autonomous
I
cars,
like that. Yeah.
autonomous cars will be way safer than any human being drive because
But wait, now,
they'll communicate so fast.
I just want to say this, and we'll push on here. It's obvious that it can be done because if this phone that's on Visible, which is using Verizon towers, and this phone that's on T-Mobile, obviously Verizon put the bucks out to go put towers out, so I have service.
That's true. That's true.
So it can be done,
And
they could invest in it.
which may mean it's still about money because it may be cheaper for them to use the low band 5G than to spread enough towers to get that 4G working everywhere. That could be.
Yeah.
It would still be about money,
Oh, geez, crazy. Oh God. Munchie is ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't see the point in it. But I don't know. I'll get 5G once it's been out for a while, and if Visible gets it, because right now this $25 a month life is
the way you guys sound, if Visible gets it, it'll be killer.
I'm saying if it's gonna cost me $100 a month or $70 a month, I don't know if it's worth it.
Right. I mean,
I agree.
I'm
Listen,
not.
George, Mike is loving Visible so much, he's about to leave T-Mobile.
I wouldn't surprise me. That's okay. Hey,
I'm telling you,
Mike
you
is
know.
like, how can I? Because, and I know he probably really won't, but if you think about it, why not?
if you're pleasing your consumer, why wouldn't you? Yeah, if he's happy with it, go with it.
Mike is getting, I don't know what he pays for T-Mobile, but the phone is like, you know what I mean? Your bill is the same every month, and he says his is on T-Mobile. I guess the T-Mobile Tuesdays keeps Mike there.
Well, you know, I will.
Me,
you know, I'm not going to lie to you. Will,
for me,
it had
hard
me
to
thinking.
say.
It had me thinking because just a week or two ago, my son messaged me, telling me he got a text message saying he's approaching 50 gigs of data. I'm like, and they're going, you're going to be deprioritized.
What happened to the 30 gigs of data?
That's what I asked him.
That was an amazing
That's
number.
what I asked him. I said, "Did you put the blank phone on Wi-Fi?"
I was going to say, he just stopped using Wi-Fi entirely.
I think he did.
Mike, why doesn't
think
he
he did.
download? He doesn't.
I
download.
don't know. Well, I don't. I could give him a pass Because maybe he's got something running in the background he doesn't realize. I don't know.
Geeks.
Yeah.
I mean, visible is good for the price. I know.
Gary, man. Gary,
Mike.
you're killing me, man. You're killing me.
Jay on Twitter is like your son. He posted earlier that he did like 40 gigs last month on Visible.
Jay Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even keep up with my data use because they don't, doesn't matter.
That was the most I probably used just this past week. Because I was doing the hotspot, for the wife and everything.
And it worked,
Yeah.
right?
So you got her covered from Visible. That's cool.
Yeah. So
it's like, I don't know. I can't see paying more than that now. It'll be hard to go somewhere and pay more than $25 a month. When
Go get Mint Mobile because Ryan Reynolds needs the money.
Yeah, I know it's 15. That one's 15. I saw that.
that's crazy. See, that's the thing. These prices are getting cheaper.
Yeah, exactly.
But they just don't have the coverage. That Mint Mobile doesn't mean squat for somebody out where I was.
Yeah.
$15 you can't make a phone call.
Who's Mint Mobile? T-Mobile.
T-Mobile, yeah.
Lady Red just spread our stream
link?
too on Twitter.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that was very nice of her. Thank you, Lady Red.
Yeah. I was going to say, Will, you were talking about, yeah. I'll be honest with you, that thought crossed my mind. Because if I get all 4 family members,
Alice has a good question here for you guys.
Hold on.
Because I don't know.
No.
They don't pay off the phone. You can buy a phone from them and they'll give you $200, or you can just bring your phone.
Yeah, they're not like the big carriers where they pay off the old one now.
They accept all the iPhones, and the Pixel, the older Galaxies, a couple of the Galaxies. They don't do the Note 10. But I mean, besides, like, me and Mike had a problem. That was a couple months ago now. But since then, like,
yeah, right. You guys haven't had any problems since then, right?
Fine. Yeah, I mean, you get Wi-Fi calling on the Pixel. I know I had visual voicemail. 3-way calling, like, I have had no issues with it.
Gary. Oh, that's a good one. Christmas is coming. It's my turn to make. Yeah, it's my turn. It's my turn.
I mean, I know when Mike said, it's Verizon. Yeah, Munchie said it's owned by Verizon. Yeah. And that party, the party thing just makes it hard to pass up with. Once you got 4 people in the group, it's $25.
Yeah. Because I was as close. This was my plan, was to get through the trip and then get rid of the number. For $25, Cripe, And you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
What time is it? We got like 10 minutes, guys. How about we cover this? Well, I got my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think.
Well, I watched most of it. Y'all didn't have the phone. It's a good phone, right? But to me, like George was saying before you came on, Mike, he was like, he's real, like he's an expert in the whole thing. His point,
he breaks it down, breaks it more down.
To me, Mike, his positive points for the phone were like, it was like fluff. Like he was like,
but his final evaluation was it's a good phone, So I don't think it was fluff.
He was kind of, I don't know. To me, he was like reaching. That's what I told George earlier. I think he was reaching to find more good with the phone than there actually is to like the average. George, to the average user. Because,
that's true. Because one thing he showed was that phone could render video like 4 times faster than his laptop and any other phone. But what average user is going to render video?
Like nobody's doing that. Like he's like, it can render video this fast and blah blah blah. But it's like, as far as the phones that are out there now, if you're not rendering video or the battery on the phone isn't good for $9.99. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole.
No, not according to him. the battery was just doing quite fine for him. He seemed to acknowledge that the battery was.
That's right, because he did specifically mention a couple of battery tests. True. Yeah.
I mean, Mike, when I had the phone, I can get through work, right? I can
Okay.
go to work and I can take my phone off the charger at 10, go to work, and I could come home and I would be like 40%, 50%.
And what time did you come? Now you took it off at 10 at night. What time
That would be like after I took my kids to school, I would get home 8:45 in the morning.
Like 9 in the morning.
Now-
Well, that's not so bad.
That's podcast listening, some YouTube.
That doesn't sound bad at all to me.
But and that was like that's like with solely off, not off all the way, but some of it off. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff off.
You were
Because-
doing things to save battery.
If you listen to what he said, he was like, I think it was him. He said, maybe it wasn't him, but somebody else said it. Like the phone would, if you turned on that presence thing, somebody was saying when they were driving, when he turned the steering wheel, the screen would wake up. Like
Yes,
you have,
yes, he said
Yeah.
that. He said,
you
yeah,
have to do stuff to preserve the battery, or you can kill it.
because that
like-
radar was just way too sensitive. Yeah.
The battery, I mean, it's not for $1,000. I don't see how he can like make it sound like everybody who reviewed the phone was wrong, because that's kind of what he was doing. He was like,
He was saying that is true.
there's favoritism and blah,
Right,
blah, blah.
and that's
Other
where
phone.
that's the
There
thing that
isn't, though.
that
It's
was my
like
takeaway.
he's pushing. He was just pushing his narrative of trying to be like the contrarian guy to say that the phone isn't as bad as everybody's saying. But nobody was bashing the phone that bad. But people were like, the camera's great.
Yeah.
Solar sensor is nonsense. The software is great.
Because the general reviews of the phone, I haven't heard anybody say it's a bad phone, but everybody except him seems to have, okay, but there's this one major issue, and they're different issues for different people.
The Soli sensor isn't good. The battery's not. The battery isn't where it should be for $1,000. Not having stock Android on it, it's not, and not when you can compare it to a Note for the same price, and you're getting a bigger battery.
Running all those other things at one time.
Yeah, the Note has everything going.
Yeah,
Like when I use the Note, like the display brightness versus the Pixel is crazy.
yeah, and you're right about that. Yeah, you're right about that, because that's just plain stock Android, so you shouldn't be using up everything. You know, like
You have to when you take a leak. Munchie's crazy. Yeah, like the Google just like I think it was him too. He was like, what did he say? He was like trying to defend the Soli sensor. He was like, tech is gonna be not about those, what did he say? The fine movements. It's gonna be about blending in and all that. That's like Google talk. You put a sensor. You put a sensor.
I didn't hear one say that.
I swear that was him. You put as he was like saying that the people who were he was like, people were saying that the LG sensor was too complicated, and now they're saying that Google's doesn't do enough. That was a part of his video, and of course it don't do enough. It doesn't do anything. To swipe your hand over and skip the song, like that's a waste. That's a waste of a bezel then at the top of the phone. You're putting a bezel at the top of the phone for that.
But
I
don't
thought
you?
you were going to say a waste of space.
But don't you have the feeling that the whole radar thing is because of what it's going to be coming with, rather than what it does now? Because what it does now is stupid. I agree.
George, look, the phone is, what's this month? The phone came out in, let's say, end of October, right? Or November, end of October. We're going into December. This is December. The phone's been out for 2 months.
And a half in.
The phone's been out for basically 2 months. They haven't fixed it.
A month and a week and a half or something like that.
They haven't fixed the face unlock thing, which to me wasn't a big deal, but it's a big deal.
They were going to fix it. I can't believe they're taking so long.
It should have never came out like that.
I
They
agree.
haven't fixed that,
I
and
agree.
Soli has no new features.
No, and that's what I thought. Why they put Soli in there, because they were going to be adding features. But it's okay. So when are these coming?
I think that thing is just going to be just like it is. I don't think they're gonna add nothing.
But do you get a sense he was very prickly and very annoyed at all the reviews about the phone now? After so many weeks now, and how the impressions were with the tech community.
I don't think he's okay. I don't know if you've seen other reviews. What did they say that was bad? Like that was so, you know what I mean? I don't understand why he's so upset. Like his whole reasoning why saying that the phone was good was because it rendered a video fast.
Well, I know on I think it was Android Central's podcast last week. Yeah, they were saying about the problems of Pixel phones in general over the years, and they were saying right to this minute, the best Pixel phone they ever put out is the Pixel 3a.
Yeah, it is because that's the only one that's for the price of the phone and
doesn't have problems. That never had any real problems.
You never heard any problems with them,
and that's the only Pixel phone that you ever heard of that didn't have problems.
I could make it through like a work 8 hours with it, but if I was gonna go somewhere and like if I was gonna go to the theme park, I wouldn't even really want to take it because it's gonna die. I'd have to turn the brightness down, put on battery saver because it's not gonna make it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the iPhone, you can go out with the iPhone and the battery lasts forever.
Exactly. Yeah, the iPhone 11, you probably make it 2 days with that thing.
With the Note, you could go out with the Note 10, and Mike, wait till your wife starts using the phone. The battery lasts forever on that phone.
It does it?
Yeah, the battery's great.
She had good on the 10 on the 10
plus. Yeah.
Yeah. On the 9, she had really great. I mean, it was really good. It got her through.
Yeah, Munchie says Pixel 3a is cheap at best for the price. Yeah, but it doesn't have issues. All the other Pixel phones have some kind of issue.
I just don't understand why he was so upset. Like
he was defending an awful lot.
He was extremely prickly, and he was really going. I mean, I thought it was a two-thing. He had to make his point to the tech community about the phone and how the reviews are done and how it's perceived when they do these videos. His mocking of things, you can't sit here and say, yeah, I seen that, or I didn't see that. You know what I mean?
Look at Munchie's latest comment, and I think he's right.
He said, what did he say? He said something about the wide angle camera. He was like, I can't. I don't know.
And Munchie, I think you're right. I am a Google fanboy, but I'm not big enough Google fanboy to pay $900 for that phone. That's just me.
There's that Bunchy. Not that I know. There's no issues with
Gary, but like, and then the phone's been out for this long. Google's late with the updates. Like, Google's embarrassing. There's not really, to me, I like Pixels.
But think about all the stuff we said about Google over the years.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Nothing embarrasses them. You know that.
Yeah.
They never get embarrassed. But they don't.
I thought his review was just crazy. I don't know.
I thought it was honest, but yeah, he did seem to be answering a lot of what seemingly must have been bad reviews in his opinion. So Gadget Beard said it was a great review. I thought it was an honest.
It was.
I like he really went in depth with it, but to me,
very into detail.
Right on, Munchie. I'm a fanboy too.
Mm-hmm. The $900 to some me is not a big deal. Yeah, but see, Gary, that's the thing. To me, to spend that money on the phone with the competition, like with the OnePlus 7T that Mike got, is almost half the price or whatever.
This is what's kept me. I've got a OnePlus 7 Pro. I've got the iPhone 11. I've got the Pixel 3a. I've got the S10e. None of those things that I have to come close to paying $900 for. Someday I'm going to. I know that. But if they're going to make good, cheaper phones, the same phones, I'm going to take them every time.
But the phones you just mentioned, you're getting great performance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As a whole, great photos, great battery, great just overall.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people were negative on the phone, because there's so many other choices that you can buy for cheaper instead of going with the Pixel, and Google's pricing it like like an iPhone or like a Galaxy when you're not getting the same.
I agree.
You're not getting that out of it. If you like it because you want the updates, like Gary's saying, yeah, it's if you're gonna pay it anyway. Like me, I always get the Pixel. Fine, but to try to make it sound like it's worth it or it was a good, like that's crazy to me.
Yeah. Now he says that they had Bluetooth issues. I
All
have.
the Pixels, I think all the Pixels have Bluetooth issues, don't
Yeah,
they?
you had problems. Did you, Will? On
Just about. I mean, this one didn't. But I didn't have any, but I know the 2 had issues. The first one had issues.
First and second,
Yeah.
yeah, the 2 and 3, I think, had the worst issues.
So I just, for me, he made a great detailed review, and just what's that? It's about defending overpriced products. I just felt that what really grabbed me, and what's why I wanted to share and talk about was his comment about how it was a little mockery, how he mocked some of the his comments mocking or how these reviewers come across some of these phones and they don't do a detailed investigation.
Yeah, and you can always tell he's mocking somebody because he always puts it in black and white.
Black and white. Yeah, he changes his voice and all. Yeah.
I just he's a gadget beard said, why can't you compare it to the iPhone?
No, he said, why can you? Not why can't you?
Why can you compare it to the iPhone?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who don't think these phones should be compared.
I don't think
all phones in the same price range should be compared to each other. That's just me.
I think Android should compete with Android. I think that iPhones are like it's separate. I mean, not
as a consumer, I want everybody competing with everybody. Then I'll make
they should
iOS or Android.
They should compete, but it's like I don't know. If you don't like Apple, just because Apple makes a great phone, like just because the iPhone 11 Pro is great, if you don't like iOS, you're not going to buy an iPhone.
Well, I wasn't a big iOS guy. I fell in love with the iPhone 11. And for me to this moment,
you didn't really have a bias against it, though.
No, I don't have a bias. I don't have a bias against.
Some people don't like
something that's just stupid.
Some people just don't like iOS. They're like, I'll never buy it because Apple is closed off.
You're comfortable with more with one than the other, but to just have a bias against it, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
We are past.
Gary, you didn't like One UI. I liked it. One UI was good.
I like it just fine.
Yes, I know. I can tell you, I have an S7 Edge. And that's the older UI, and the new one in the S9.
Yeah,
I thought I like it. I really like it a lot. So
he likes it and it didn't make him edgy. We're 10 o'clock,
Yeah, let's wrap this up because somebody still got to go to work tonight.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, unless you're going to drag us to work with you and then live,
Is T100 on? I don't think so because
I haven't heard a word.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming. And
Mike, we're on your channel next week, right?
Yeah.
All right.
My channel.
Oh, Friday the 13th. Simply.
Oh, wow.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
You want to swap? I'll swap with you if you want. I like the number 13, but
no, we got to do that. Sorry.
Friday the 13th. That's Simply Your Device, then, folks.
My channel. Yeah, look out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. One of us should bring a black cat in or something.
Yeah, I like that idea. And maybe I put a ladder over me.
And you could break a mirror. And you could break a mirror right on there.
Yeah, right on. Sure. I'm all for it. All right. Well, thanks everybody for stopping by.
Mike, he said,
yeah.
We didn't even talk.
That's good. I like that, guys.
We didn't even talk about Pataka.
No, don't worry. Look. Don't worry. There'll be another drama between now and Friday the 13th. So
yeah, that was a good one though. I was cracking up at Carl because Carl, I think Carl got blocked. Somebody got blocked by Pataka.
Really?
Yeah.
He blocked somebody.
Oh.
Friday the 13th background,
Right.
George.
Munchie, I'll come up with that somehow.
That's cool. That's cool.
All
Good
right,
idea.
everybody. Thanks for coming. Everybody have a good weekend. Anybody who watches boxing, Joshua and what's his name? Ruiz are fighting Saturday. Should be good. No patent laws in China. Yep. He yeah, that was crazy with that case thing. Lou would really do me the boober. Oh God.
I like me some Lou and really do. I really do.
Yeah. 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 I ain't spending no $45 on that case though.
Yeah, me neither.
But yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. Mike, you want to say bye?
I'm Mike Dixon. This is Simply Device getting psyched for Friday the 13th.
There you
It's
go.
on my night. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'm Mobile Geezer. Of course, you can find me on Facebook and Twitter, and I still want to say Google Plus, isn't that weird? And Instagram. And I promise I'll be writing a article pretty soon on mobilegeezer.wordpress.com, and I'll be on in 2 weeks. But next week, as Munchie said, I will come up with some Friday the 13th backgrounds for you to see scrolling through back here.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
See
Thanks,
you.
folks.